Some of the society believes that the environment is the most important thing when it comes to purchasing a heating and air conditioning system or anything for their house. You may not have the same beliefs. So how is it that you can have a conversation, make a deal, and sell the right product for the right person and get them exactly what they need? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technicians Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. Coming to you live from the Delta on this beautiful afternoon. This video is powered by sellingtechnicians.com. Sacramento's got good weather up until about the middle of November, and then it's cold and it sucks until about the beginning of March. So like we're heading into some cold weather, which is not my favorite. So here's the thing. I live probably 20 minutes from UC Davis, which is one of the main headquarters of the Green Initiative. I live 12 miles south of the Sacramento capital, and there's a ton of green initiatives that flow through California, and not everybody has the same beliefs. So you got everything from the dude that's got the lifted Ford or Dodge or Chevy with the 85-inch exhaust that rolls black charcoal, all the way to the person who loves trees and does this to the trees. And you know what? Here's the thing. It's your belief. I'm not knocking it. I don't care. It's got nothing to do with me. But finding the right system for the right person that is a green system is important to a lot of people, right? At the end of the day, to me, it's equipment. At the end of the day, to me, it's like, do you want a green one? Do you want a brown one? Do you want a silver one? It doesn't matter as long as I'm getting you the right solution. And so sometimes what ends up happening in a sales presentation is your beliefs flow through and show through, and you will either talk people into an idea, concept, or strategy, or you'll talk them out of them. I can share with you this, that a couple of years ago, I went to a home. This couple was retired, and they wanted to invest almost 6 figures into retrofitting their house to get rid of gas and go with solar. They were never, ever going to see a return on their investment for where their energy bills were. And they knew that. And we went into the conversation and they knew that. And so, I didn't mince words. I said, hey, listen, your bills are like $200 a month and you're going to save about $60. And if we take a look at your lifespan, you're not going to ever recoup this cost. And they said, we feel like this is our role and responsibility to do these things. So we're going to do them. And I was like, okay, we'll help you out. I'm not going to knock your religion. I'm not going to knock your belief. I'm not going to, whatever way you wanted to describe this. One of the things that you have to be aware of is your internal beliefs will surface when you give a presentation, unless you absolutely practice this. Okay. So if you're talking about an eco-friendly sales pitch, I went down this path on purpose because there are some people who are the eco true believers, and they will pitch this. They'll live on this. They'll down it. And that's fine. That's the thing that they believe in. And then there's the people who are against it, and they're like, what do I care? Give me the big Dodge, Chevy, or Ford truck with the 85-inch exhaust system that makes a ton of noise and rolls charcoal. You have to be willing to be adaptable, to have the conversations, to meet the people where they're at, to share with them. So you do have to know the research. You do have to know the difference between how inverters work and two-stage equipment works and variable speed and all of these things. And so, like, one of the biggest mistakes that I see salespeople make even today is they'll tell me, like, I don't believe in that. Well, just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't believe in it. Just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean that somebody's not going to want it, right? Like me, I don't like avocado. So when people are like, hey, man, you want some avocado? I'm like, no. Even though they grow them all over the Central Valley here. In Hawaii, oh, my goodness. Oh, Hawaii, they've got avocado like this freaking big. They're huge. They're like the size of a small basketball. So like when I go to visit the fam in Hawaii, they're like, you want some avocado? Never mind, Scott. We know you hate avocado. I don't knock it because they like it. You have to be aware of this in your eco-friendly pitch. So you can make comparisons. When I was out selling, Priuses were really big. This was like 2008-ish. And so hybrid units where you would hook up a heat pump and then a coil to a furnace were a big deal. So you could talk to people about how a heat pump gas-fired furnace was a hybrid, like a Prius. If you're going all electric, you could talk to people like it's like the Tesla or the Rivian. You can give these examples. You can share these concepts. You can share these strategies. But the thing that's going to hold you back, and I really want to emphasize this, the thing that's going to hold you back the most in selling green products is if you don't believe them. Now, there's also another problem. Okay. One other problem. And that's where, if we take a look at the pendulum, over here is the Dodge, Chevy, Ford guy, big massive lift, 85-inch exhaust system, rolling charcoal, don't care about the environment. And then you got the person who's way the freak over here, right? YouTube friendly word, way the freak over here, that will not sell anything except for the $40, $50, $60,000 upgrade with solar panels and battery backup for $100,000. There are people out there that I know of that will not sell anything but this. Like, if you want to talk about true believer, it may be that they're a true believer, or they only care about what they're going to get paid on commission, right? So you got to meet the people where they're at. You got to meet the people where it helps them, it does what it needs for them. And like in my example, where the people spent almost 6 figures, I knew and they knew that they were never going to see an ROI. They were never, ever, speaking of a big Dodge, Chevy, Ford truck, that thing's freaking huge. They were never, ever going to see the return on investment. And that was their belief. And I'm not going to knock it, but had I not presented it, they wouldn't have done it. They literally said, these are the things that we want to do. We want solar. We want heat pump. We want a gas-fired removal. We want, all of it. We want a heat pump water heater. These are all the things that they wanted to do. So I got it for them. Not knocking it. Got paid very well to do it. But just be aware, just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here, just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. Now, here's the other thing. Just because that you believe in it doesn't mean that everybody's going to believe in it either. And you're all the way over here. I can't go out the window. To like all the way over here. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha and mahalo.